Hey guys, it's me, Jess, or so it is true. Just making another quick video. I'm probably going to make a couple more, but I wanted to make a quick video because I was just on Facebook and there's a conversation going on my page about what I should make a video about, and then it spiraled into other conversations as well, which is awesome. But one comment that was made by one of my people on Facebook said that he had just recently had surgery as of, I believe he said the 9th, which today is the 28th, so it makes him 20 days post-op gastric bypass. And then he had stated that he's on stage 3 of the diet, and then asked questions about reconstructive surgery. So I did type a post to him, but I want to post it on YouTube so that way I can give this information to other people that may be in his shoes. So here's the deal. First of all, let's take a look at plastic surgery because that's the easier of the two. When you are, oh my god, it hurts to cough. When you are only 20 days post-op gastric bypass, your number one goal at this very moment in time is to focus on having the surgery and working on your diet. What people don't understand is that gastric bypass is a tool. It is a tool for you to reevaluate your emotions while you're not having the starving feeling of hunger and not eating the foods that you were eating. So during the very moment of the place that you're in right now, and I won't say your name just in case, but the place that you're at right now, you're meant to be following a very strict diet, not feeling the hunger, so that way you can focus on your emotional side. Why did you become addicted to food? What was your reasoning for becoming the size that you were? What was the reason why you couldn't turn away from food? What is and how bad is your addiction to food? So that's where you're supposed to be right now. Don't focus on, reconstructive surgery, that kind of thing. You are not in the place, the time, the moment. You are not in need of worrying about the skin that's on your body. Because to be honest with you, you have not seen skin yet. You will see skin when you get down to the size that you want to be at, and then all of a sudden the skin is so bad. Because when I was bigger, at least the skin was full, it was up more. Once you have lost all the weight and you start looking in the mirror and you look at yourself, even though say you're oh, excuse me, say you're 180 pounds and you've lost 100 plus pounds to get to that point, and you're at a good healthy weight, but you don't feel that way. Why don't you feel that way? Because of the skin. As you can see in my extra skin video, I had lost so much weight, but I felt like I was just as fat. If not, I still kind of look that way. I still look much bigger than I was. The reason for that is because I had all that extra skin to get rid of. Now, that was when I was a year and a half post-op. If you're looking at insurance covering reconstructive surgery or skin removal, you need to be at least 18 months post-op gastric bypass. And the reason for that is because in the first year, you've lost most of the weight. You should have understood why you became the size that you were. You should have came to terms with your weight gain and your addiction. So at that point, you have maintained. Once they see that you can maintain, then they start talking about the skin removal. So, being that you're only 20 days post-op, stop worrying about skin removal because it is not the time. Also, if you're going to be paying with cash to have the skin removed, no real good reconstructive surgeon, no real good plastic surgeon is going to say, oh, 6 months post-op, let's go ahead and have that surgery done for you. If they are willing to give you skin removal surgery 6 months post-op, a year even post-op gastric bypass, maybe a year, maybe that might be pushing a little bit. I don't know. But to be honest with you, my opinion is if they're looking at you in the 6 months, a year, 8 months, even less than that, don't go to that surgeon. Okay, that surgeon is not looking at your best interest. Okay, your best interest is to come to terms with your weight gain, come to terms with your weight loss, and learn how to maintain before you start removing skin. Because 10 to 1, you may gain a few pounds, lose a few pounds, but if you go get that skin removed, something happens. You get pregnant if you're a female, or you're a guy, you get hurt like I got hurt and I gained a little bit of weight back. And the fat that you gain, if you gain weight, goes and grows around that incision, and you look hideous. But in any event, besides looks, your job right now is to focus on your weight loss, your maintaining, your exercising, excuse me, if you lose all of the weight that you need to lose within the first 6 months post-op gastric bypass, okay, during that time, you have lost most of your muscle mass. You have become unhealthy with your weight loss. And typically that's how it goes. I mean, you're losing so much weight that you lose the water in your muscles and they shrink, okay? So your job after losing all that weight is not only to maintain, but it's also to regain that strength. You want to get that hardening training in, which is where you harden up and you train and you get those muscles where they need to be, and then you maintain that for a while. That's when you say, all right, I have lost all the weight that I need to lose. If not, I'm pretty darn close. I've gained back muscle mass, which does weigh more than fat, so you will gain weight with that. But you've gained back muscle mass and you look good, you feel good. Now it's time to get rid of the skin and really feel sexy. That's the process of that, okay? So don't ever think for a second that it is a smart choice to look into plastic surgery anything less than 18 months, if you ask me. If you ask me, I think, if you get to a point where you just can't handle it no more, like I was at, 16, 18 months is a good place to be to have the surgery. Ow. Also, going on to, he stated that he was on stage 3. He was on stage 3 of the diet. Now, I know Dr. Miles, and I know his surgery tactics, and, stage 3 is a pretty good stage to be. But to be honest with you, moving that fast in 20 days, because stage 1 is your liquid diet. That's the day that you're in the hospital. Then you move on to soft food diets for approximately 2 weeks, and then you move on to stage 3. So you're right about where you should be. But let me tell you, it is not a race, okay? You have the surgery. You go through the pain and the suffering of it, you get healed, and all of a sudden you start exercising, okay? You're focusing on losing weight. During this time period, within the first 3 months, you need to focus on not how many pounds you lose, okay? Because you need to focus on your inches, because you're going to gain water weight if you happen to go back in the hospital like I did. You're going to lose muscle weight, stuff like that. There was times where for 2 weeks I didn't lose a pound. But my pants fell down when I walked outside to go get the mail. Excuse me. And that's because I had lost inches, which is what happens. When you're plateauing, you're losing inches. So weigh in your inches. Don't do just scale. I know scale weight is awesome to see, and the pounds coming out is awesome to see, but you need to see the inches. So during the first 3 months, though, going back to that, during the first 3 months, you need to be focusing on why you gained weight, why you are addicted to food. And don't sit there and say, oh, I'm not addicted to food. I just gain weight because of this, that, whatever. No, the reason why you gain weight is because you have an emotional issue. Something's happened to you that has caused you to turn to food, which has caused you to become addicted to food, which has caused you to get to the point where you had gained so much weight that you needed to have a type of surgery or a tool help you lose that weight. Okay? So that tool is it is to help you lose weight, but the reason for that surgery is at its best within the first 3 to 6 months, and during that time, it's for you to figure out why the hell do I turn to food rather than turning to a friend to talk to, or going for a walk, or taking your animals out for a walk, or instead of you had gotten so big and to the point where you're so addicted to food that instead of going and calling a friend and saying, hey, you want to come over and let's just chat, to either A, you don't call friends and you binge at home, or you call friends to simply go out to eat. So, and then to talk and bash anything that's going on in your life. So that's really what I wanted to make a video about real quick. Excuse me. And I know this video is going to be extremely choppy, but it's the fastest way that I can get the video up, because I'm waiting for another video that I made to post for you guys. So in any event, that's the video. That's my standing on a soapbox and rip you a new one. I didn't mean to, but I just want you to know, okay, what and why you had surgery. Okay, you need to figure out why. And during this time, that's that time. So, and I'll be honest with you, the slower you go through your stages, as long as you're getting in your protein, that's okay. For the first 6 months post-gastric bypass, I was so sick that I was on my stage 2, stage 3 during that whole time. And that's when I lost almost all of the weight, and to be honest with you, I lost 200 pounds in what, a year or something? And that's why, because I wasn't in a rat race to get through these stages. I was focusing on what I was doing at that time and not on food, but on the fact that, you know what, I could drink a shake today. And I can still do that. People that have not had gastric bypass, it's good to maybe skip a meal and have a protein fiber shake. Atkins is one of the best, is it doesn't have carbs, it doesn't have sugar, and it has a lot of protein. So anyway, that's my spiel. I'll stop talking now because I hate when the video's choppy and I want to get this posted for him to watch. But love you guys. Again, sorry for ripping you a new one. Love ya. Bye.